Chip Hanauer in the Circus Circus will be defending his title on this 2.5-mile River Oval, while Scott Pierce, after his Miami win in Mr. Pringles, will be seeking his second straight victory. And Jim Kropfeld in the Miss Budweiser will be gunning for Hanauer to take the Detroit championship. IPI Sports brings you the HFC American Hydroplane Series. This third national stop, the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race. The fastest race boats in the world will be challenging the Detroit River at one of the toughest race courses in front of more than 600,000 fans for over $175,000 in purse money and for points toward the national championship. The HFC American Hydroplane Series and the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race are sponsored by Household Finance Corporation, America's financial resource, and by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Hendrick, along with Dick Crippen, on the shores of this 2.5-mile oval Detroit River course. Perennially a tough course, Dick.
It certainly is, and it's one where you have to survive the course. We've had a lot of equipment lost here in the past. We've had a lot of drivers that have found out this course can change in the matter of a race. It can rough up on one end, be smooth on the other end. We had a qualifying record set by the Miss Budweiser just the other day. We expect that there could be record speeds out here today.
Yes, and of course the two top qualifiers have drawn each other for Heat 1A. So right off the bat, Chip Hanauer and Jim Kropfeld go head-to-head.
And I think we better remember that Miss Budweiser is getting back into the racing circuit with Jim Kropfeld now coming up with some good points. Chip Hanauer has always had good fortune on the Detroit River. He's one of the few drivers in history that can claim good luck on this river.
And the Winston Eagle, much improvement. As to the Pringles, of course, the winner of the last race. We've got a Donnybrook coming, and we'll have it all for you in just a moment. Back here on the Detroit River, we are in corner number 4, the Rooster Tail turn, looking at the skyline of Detroit, where the world-famous Cobo Hall holds forth every year with the Automobile Show. It's an ethnic city with entertainment, museums, and the world champion Detroit Pistons. A sports city, a fun city, a city of fine food, dining, entertainment, a productive city. Detroit, the Renaissance City. Over 600,000 expected here today. We're in the Bill Muncie Memorial Pits, where the crowd is arriving. Let's go down to Dick Crippen with Bernie Little.
Bernie, let's talk about last week. Not the best of races for you, but you're back at it again.
Yeah, the crew got everything put back together real quickly. We spun out in Miami and cost us the final heat. We come here to Detroit, and as you've seen, set a new world record yesterday, 152.3 something. Miss Budweiser is running outstanding, and we've drawn the Circus Circus in the first heat, and I think we're going to really see a fine boat race.
Bernie, one thing about the Detroit River course, it is a racer's course, and finally you're on one that you don't have to be tricky with.
Yeah, you're right. Detroit River is probably one of the toughest courses on the circuit. You got some awful nice holes down there and across to the yacht club, and it takes a good driver to finish this race.
But one thing about the Detroit River, it's consistent.
It sure is. It's bad.
And he should know because he's been bitten here before. Old Boy Alberto in Heat 1A will be driven by George Woods Jr. Chip Hanauer qualified 151.4 to drive the Circus Circus. Here's a new sponsor for this boat, the Miss Sun Deck, driven by Ron Snyder. The fastest qualifier at 152.5, Jim Kropfeld in Miss Budweiser. And rounding out the field will be the Miss DOC Ray Band, driven by Mitch Evans. Weather looks pretty good, Dick.
It certainly does. 67-degree temperature, 59% humidity, wind southeast at 5, and mostly sunny. They expect temperatures to reach up into the 80s today. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. In lane 1 at Circus Circus, lane 2 Miss Budweiser, DOC Ray-Ban, and lane 3 Sundeck, lane 4 Oh Boy Alberto, just a hair off the pace as they come down to the starting line. Circus Circus is going to take control at the start.
As they come down to the Carwood starting line across from Belle Isle, it's a leaping start for the Circus Circus as he dives down to corner number 1 with the Budweiser right on his hip.
Chip Hanauer trying to hold that speed up high, takes a little bit of a wider turn than usual down in turn number 1 as he tries to continue in the leadership role for this first race of 1989 on the Detroit River. A good start for Chip Hanauer, but the Miss Budweiser just about 2 boat lengths off him as they come out of the turn onto the back stretch, and they are really punching the pedals.
This could be the smoothest part of the course because the Belle Isle Bathing Beach lets the waves dissipate on the sand. It does not roll back on the boats like it does down the front chute off of concrete barriers. But the point right now, coming to the Detroit Yacht Club, this is where the current splits to the Detroit side and to Windsor, Ontario, Canada side, and can create some holes. But look at him hanging on the hook, Dick.
He certainly is. He's got the skid fin dug into the water, and he gets a beautiful execution out of that turn. Chip Hanauer with a tremendous speed as he comes down back across the start-finish line. Miss Budweiser still pushing hard as they complete the first lap here on the Detroit River. Chip Hanauer doing a great job of driving. He's got his eye on the Miss Budweiser, and they are really battling it out as they go back into the turns again. 145.232 miles per hour.
That is a course record by the American Powerboat Association for competition on a 2.5-mile course.
And we might add in there a little description of that. That means competition against other boats. They have to have a certain amount of boats starting. That is a record speed, and the reason is this guy, because Jim Kropfeld is pushing Circus around that course and forcing Chip Hanauer right there, as light as he's getting, to keep his foot on it.
This is the tightest part of this Detroit River course. It's shaped like an egg as we look at our third-place boat, Old Boy Alberta, with George Woods coming down the back chute after getting the late start.
You've got to give him a lot of credit. This is a piston boat. It's a reciprocating engine. The 2 lead boats you see right there coming at you are turbine boats, and both of them are riding very light, an indication of tremendous speed, upwards of 190 miles an hour on the straights, 142 for Chip Hanauer, again, better than 140 miles an hour. He is really pushing.
As we look at our 4th-place boat, it's the Miss DOC Ray-Ban with Mitch Evans, and behind him, Miss Sundeck with Ron Snyder. He's getting a rough ride too, Dick.
It certainly does. It appears that the Sundeck is having a little bit of engine problem out there now. Good run for this boat. DOC Ray-Ban is hanging in there. Consistency could pay off. Yep, there was problem. Ron Snyder dead in the water in the Sundeck boat. That boat is still being worked on. Hopefully they can pull it around. But look at this boat. In contrast, a great ride by Chip Hanauer. He's coming out of the final turn now, down the final straight. He'll take the checkered flag this time around. Everybody on the shoreline giving him a great big welcome home. Chip Hanauer, winner of Heat 1A.
And he bested his heat lap competition record by 11 miles an hour. He set 134 plus back in 1984. Today, he bested that speed record by 11 miles an hour. 2nd place to Miss Budweiser, 3rd to Old Boy Alberto. And now let's take a look at our scorecard after the first heat of action. This is the way they stand. Circus, Budweiser, Alberto, Miss DOC, and the Sundeck did not finish. Let's go to Dick Crippen in the pits. Dick?
Well, Chip, that's got to feel pretty good to start the day in Detroit.
Well, you know, you just take them one at a time, and we just want to get into that final.
Chip, you know that this was going to be a battle right from the start, matching you up with a Miss Budweiser. You went out there, you obviously put your foot right in it going into turn number 1, and you never let it out.
Well, you know, we're real tight on national points, and we'd like to win as many heats as we can without stretching the equipment. Again, the first priority is to win the race. Second priority is to national points. But we had an opportunity, and we'll take the points.
So you get out there and run it hard. Did you feel threatened at it?
Oh, yeah. Jim was real fast, I think, especially those first 2 laps. I don't think I was moving away from him. So, you know, whenever the Budweiser's out there, you're threatened.
Well, Chip, certainly your boat has been running just flawlessly so far in this race. Coming into this race, though, some of the boats had problems like the Winston Eagle. Jim Hendrick is down the pit with the owner of that boat.
In Steve Wimmer's camp, it says, well, it's never over until the Winston Eagle screams. But up until now, hasn't screamed very much. But in qualifying, looks like you might be ready on this one.
Oh, I think we're definitely ready today, Jim. Every time we've run here in the last week, it's gotten faster and better. And you know, yesterday we did some running on some rough water, and the boat rides excellent. The Winston Eagle's definitely ready to go today.
And there she sits in the water with driver Larry Lauterbach ready to race. We'll be back as they take the course in a moment. Dick Ribbon along with Jim Hendrick back on the banks of the Detroit River, and we want to welcome you to the Zenith Performance Corner, sponsored by Zenith Data Systems. Zenith innovates again.
New rule 1989, all boats must have a canopy. This is off an F-16 fighter plane. It protects the driver. It protects his office, if you will. Now, if the boat is upside down, like Scotty Pierce was in the Mr. Pringles last year, you come out the bottom end of the hatch. He has a breathing system, and he can also sustain breathing air until they can get to him. Also, the steering wheel down here is collapsible. Show him, Danny. All right, the steering wheel comes out. That gives him some room in this cockpit. He has a 5-point harness, and there's communications, right? You talk, Danny High, to your driver all the time when he's running.
Yeah, we try and keep Scott informed as to what's going on the race course, if there's a problem, also who might be around him, because with the canopy we've cut down a little bit of the visibility, but we try and keep him informed as to what's going on.
Do you think there could be any more improvements in a cockpit such as this?
Oh, we're learning all the time. We've made improvements since last year, and of course from our wreck we learned quite a bit, and we're continually improving the canopy, trying to make it safer. Everybody is here. Everybody's pretty safety conscious about what's going on.
Little look inside the hydroplanes that you'll be seeing out here in a moment. The host of Miss Madison, driver Mike Hansen. Scott Pierce in the boat that we were just talking about, the Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles. Also on the course, the U-10 Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach. You met Steve Wilmer a few moments ago. And the U-88 Miss Detroit, Pierre Levine. Driving that boat out of Canada, Paddock Pools, the U-7, Jerry Hopp, driving for Al Thorson, the owner. Here come the boats now. The Miss Madison just passing on our screen, leading the field up to the start. Looks like Mr. Pringles in good position out there now. Scotty Pierce in lane number 1. As they come down, Winston Eagle is in lane number 2. Two turbine boats side by side, and there you can see on the right of your screen, it is Scott Pierce in Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles. Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach trying to get the advantage of them as they go into turn number 1. But it is going to be Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles. Scott Pierce has held him off momentarily. Look at how light Winston Eagle gets. Larry Lauterbach driving hard as they head out onto the back stretch.
We're at Heat 1B down the back chute as it's Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles with Scott Pierce. In the rooster tail hidden is the Winston Eagle with Larry Lauterbach. The Holtzen Miss Madison is 3rd, and the Paddock Pools is back in 4th place. We look at our leader now coming down to that very dangerous corner number 3, flying a little bit. That white spot comes right up. He tries to hang it on the hook. Whoa, he is getting a rough ride in that corner.
No question about it, but he's holding it on the hook and manages to get it through. Scott Pierce doing a great job, and look at the challenge from the Winston Eagle. Steve Woomer just moments ago telling you that this boat was ready to run. It was getting faster each heat it went, and right now he is challenging for the lead. Winston Eagle on the left of your screen, and the turbine-powered Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles on the right side. Two turbine boats out in front.
As they come down the corner, number 1 for the second time at lap number 2, it's the Mr. Pringles. Turning that wide oval down by the Detroit Boat Club, he'll come down the smoothest part of the course, the back chute along Belle Isle, and then into that ever-dangerous corner number 3 by the Detroit Yacht Club, the tightest turn. And look, moving up in his roots tail, once again, the Winston Eagle with Larry Lauterbach pushing the Mr. Pringles for all it's worth.
And no question, they were getting light coming down, and there is no backing off for Scott Pierce. Again, light coming into the turn. He manages to come. He loses it. He's up and over. The Mr. Pringles has crashed on the course. Larry Lauterbach missing him on the outside. Scotty Pierce inside the canopy. He is moving. You can see him inside the canopy, trying to check gauges and such. Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce up and over in that dangerous rooster tail turn. Jim, it looked like the boat went over and started to come down on the backside, went into the water, boomeranged out, and actually flipped right side up again. So a good break for Scott Pierce there. And so far, you can see his wife, Jan, standing on the sidelines, looking out there now, but we saw that Scott was moving inside the cockpit.
He went completely upside down, landed on that canopy. The force moved him right side up. You know he had to be disoriented, but he was smart enough to move his hands. Red flares throughout this race to stop. Watch slow motion. He loses his hook, which is his skid fin. Now his steering is completely out of the water. His steering rudder, that's where he loses it all. Comes right upside down, takes the full force on the canopy. When the waves disappear, he's right side up. Eric Stallow and the rescue crew have removed the driver. He's on a stretcher right now. They're checking him over by rules. The wives, of course, are emotionally spent on the shore, and until they know their man is okay, but the URC radio says he's conscious, he's talking. The owner of the boat, Bill Wooster, must know the canopies have proved their worth.
Well, it saved his life. There's no question about that. He's in good shape right now. He's on his way to the hospital. And the worst complaint that he had was that his ankle was sore. And I just can count my blessings, and he can count his.
Bill, you were watching the boat go around there. It was getting light coming down there. That wind picks up on that turn, and it's a bad one.
Yes, it looked like we got a gust of wind off the corner up here, and that's the thing that brought him up. You know, last year down in Miami was a near disaster, and now we go through it again. I thank the good Lord that nothing has happened to Scott.
Well, the other thing, it doesn't deter Scott, and it doesn't deter you.
No, we're going to go on. You'll see us at the next race.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill, and we do wish you the very best of luck getting things back together. The boat being towed in now, they're checking it out, and the driver already on shore being checked out. This is a race course that has seen an awful lot of racing action. Jim Hendrick takes a look back at it.
There has been more racing on this course than anywhere else in the history of water sports. You're looking at the historic Detroit Yacht Club in the background, where, if it could speak, could tell you many tales of a Bill Muncy, a Dean Chenoweth, Guy Lombardo, the Shanath family. Heritage, well, it's right here in Detroit. This is the spawning ground of unlimited hydroplane racing, and it dates back to the late 20s and early 30s, where a guy by the name of Gar Wood and his riding mechanic Orland Johnson captured the hearts of America in Miss America 10. Let's go back.
57 years ago, the legendary Gar Wood, along with riding mechanic Orland Johnson, fired up 4 Packard engines and headed out for a record run attempt. 2 runs through the traps, and they produced an average speed of 124.915 miles an hour, a new record.
We're very happy this morning because we have just brought back to the United States the world's record on water. Our speed was at an average of 124 and 91 miles per hour.
Band leader Guy Lombardo in his Tempo 6 appeared regularly on the Detroit River. He was quite a competitor. And Danny Foster, builder and boat designer, held court on this river. His Miss Great Lakes was also driven by the legendary Bill Muncy at the start of his career. If these waters could talk, what stories they could tell. Just a little flashback on this famous course.
And back to today now, and what's happening on this course. The Hulset Miss Madison will lead the field in the restart of Heat 1B. Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach will be back in action. Also in the field will be the Miss Detroit, Pierre Lavigne. Driving for Jerry Shanath, and Paddock Pools, the U7, Jerry Hopp, Al Thorison's boat.
Well, the Racing Jeff presents Mr. Pringles after the accident. It doesn't look as extensively damaged as we thought from the accident. They'll keep it in Detroit and prepare for the next race. We'll be back with more of the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit Regatta, third stop in the HFC American Hydroplane Series, the restart of Heat 1B, in just a moment.
You're looking at the Detroit River in Detroit, Michigan, out toward Lake St. Clair now as the boats get ready for the restart of Heat 1B. The Jim presents Mr. Pringles, having gone over in the first start of this race, and it red flagged it, meaning everybody stopped. Lane 1 coming up for the start. Winston Eagle, lane 2, Miss Detroit. Hulset Miss Madison, lane 3, and it appears, Jim, that the Paddock Pools did not start.
The Gremlins fighting driver Jerry Hopp in this instance as they come down toward the Garwood judges stand. And on the inside, the right of your screen, the brightly colored rocket red sled of the Winston Eagle.
Boy, this could be a real morale booster for this crew. They've had some trouble getting this boat going, but it's been getting better and better each race. And if they could get a win in their pocket, I know Larry Lauterbach and Steve Woomer and crew would be extremely pleased, because this is some river to beat. It's a river with great reputation. A good shot there as you see the Winston Eagle, leader of this race. Riding out in second place now is the Hulset Miss Madison. Mike Hansen, the boat that's owned by the citizens and residents of Madison, Indiana, 13,000 strong. There you see the boat, and again we point out they haven't even seen this boat race yet, Jim, because it came on the circuit last year after the Madison Regatta.
After this race, we'll head for Madison, Indiana, the Ohio River. They'll get a good look at it. We're coming around to complete lap number 1. Pretty good time for the Winston Eagle. About 125 miles an hour as he comes down toward the starting line for the second time. He looks like he's just about all alone, but here is the Hulset Miss Madison, second place, coming off of corner number 4, down by the pit area. taking it through that slop of that very dangerous corners number 3 and 4 by the Rooster Tail. There it is. I said close to 125, not too far off.
We'll give you that one, 124.948. Here's Miss Detroit riding in 3rd place now. This is a good opportunity for the turbine-powered Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach, the driver, to get out in front, test the waters, find out how he can run the boat. He's already watched one accident happen almost right in front of him in the last start of this race. So now he knows where the holes are, and he's going to see what his boat can do, but he has no competition around him at the moment. So although it is something of a Sunday afternoon drive, he still has the ability to judge the course a little bit better and find out by pushing the boat a little bit what he can expect from his Winston Eagle.
And pick up 400 perfect points for a first place finish. And remember, only the 5 top point getters get the run for the money. And here comes the checkered flag for the winner of the restart of Heat 1B, Steve Woomer's Winston Eagle, driven by Larry Lauterbach. 2nd place, coming off of corner number 4 for 300 points, will be the whole set Miss Madison.
So it's got to be a happy time for Steve Woomer and his crew down there. Larry Lauterbach, the driver. There you see 2nd place for the whole set Miss Madison. 2nd to the Winston Eagle that we were just talking about. And 3rd place will go to the Miss Detroit, Pierre Levine. There you can see paddock pools. A sad story for Jerry Hopp. Didn't even get to take the restart of Heat 1B. Now here's quite a story. This is the Miss Detroit. This was a boat built for a special class of hydroplane racing. It's been converted over now to an unlimited, and it is being run with automobile power. Here's the results of Heat 1B. Winston Eagle, of course, taking the win. Miss Madison, Miss Detroit, paddock pools without the start. Jim is with the winner of Heat 1B.
Well, guys, it's been a little while, but you got one under your belt. How about it, Larry?
Well, that was kind of a gift there, Jim. You know, Scotty and I had a pretty good heat going in 1B early in the day, and he got upside down. So this is a rerun of that heat, and we hate to see Scotty get out of the race like that, boy. That's a big blow to their team and into our sport today. We lost a big, good boat, but Winston Eagle's running fine. I just took it easy out there and just made 5 laps and survived.
Steve, sitting on the shore, sometimes it's tough for an owner.
Yeah, I've been through those before, and it's not very pleasant, and that definitely takes a little of the glow off of winning this heat with that happened to Scotty, but thank God he's safe and
the canopy's worked.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt.
We move right along with our racing as we get ready for Heat 2A. Holsett Miss Madison in this one. Mike Hansen, the driver. Also, the U7 paddock pools had trouble starting in the last race, but let's see if he can get going this time. The Boss Marine Sports, known as Sundeck, Ron Snyder, the driver in the U9. The U2, Oh Boy Oberto, George Woods Jr., a boat that's been very consistent. And here's the Cooper's Express, this race known as DOC Ray-Ban. And here they come for the start of Heat 2A.
As they come around the Rooster Tail turn, heading down toward the Carwood Judges stand on the inside lane, number 1, Ron Snyder in the Sundeck. Right in the middle of the pack, Oh Boy Oberto. And on the outside, the boat on your left is the Holsett Miss Madison. Dick?
Good start for this totally piston-powered field, and that is a rarity in unlimited hydroplane racing today. There you see the start of Heat 2A. No turbine entries in this particular field. Paddock pools way in the background. You can see Jerry Hopp having his problems again as Rooster Tail is down. He's looked like he may be headed back into the pit area, but he certainly is not up on plane like he wanted to be. Taking off into the lead now is Oh Boy Oberto, George Woods Jr. This is a boat to watch. It has challenged more than its share of turbines throughout last season, and he's really got it running fine this year. As you can see, he comes out a little bit light out of turn number 1, corner number 2, down the back stretch now toward the Detroit Yacht Club. Now this is where the water starts roughing up a little bit. You'll see the Yacht Club as it comes into view, and you can see where the pilings are such that it'll back the water onto the course. Boat number 2 in position is Holsett Miss Madison. Mike Hansen, the driver. He also is on the backstretch now, about 6 boat lengths separating the leader and second place. A good run for George Woods in Oh Boy Oberto.
Not pushing it too hard. There are no turbines in the field, and George Woods knows he just wants 400 points to try to get into that winner-take-all final as he's hitting some slop, coming off of corner number 4 to confound to complete lap number 1. Here is the Miss Sundeck, driven by Ron Snyder. Here's that battle for first place. On the boat on your left is Hold Set Miss Madison, trying to move up 112.233 mile an hour on our Zenith Data Systems computer as they crack into number 2 lap.
And we might say that all of our speeds being shown on the screen are lap speeds. That means it includes, in essence, 4 corners and 2 straightaways. So they have to come off it a little bit in the corners because they have to slide the boat through. There's your 3rd place entry right now, Miss DOC Ray-Ban. And Mitch Evans is having a pretty good ride in that boat. It's been very consistent through the day.
Let's tell the people that are watching this program today that 112.2 means 155 mile an hour in the straightaway to get that average speed, because they must slow down in the turns, hanging on the hook. You cannot bank water. The turns are flat. They must decrease speed.
And some problems for the Miss Sundeck. Ron Snyder having problems. He had problems earlier and had to go out of one of the heats. Now he's got him again in this one, and more problems for Paddock Pools. Jerry Hopp with the best seat in the house, but he traded for a run in the field right now.
We have over 600,000 people watching this one today on a sunny day in Detroit. The checker flag is out, Dick.
They're coming down for the win, and there's oh boy Alberto getting the checkered flag from the starter's tower. 2nd place will go to the Holset Miss Madison, Mike Hansen, and he'll feel good about that. They've just been getting that boat all tricked out and ready to go for the entire circuit. It's running well for the citizens of Madison, Indiana, getting ready to go down there in the next stop on this 1989 tour of Unlimited Hydros. There's the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. That's Mitch Evans, and that boat out of Evansville, Indiana, takes 3rd place in Heat 2A.
So Heat 2A is now history. Let's check the scoreboard here in Detroit, Michigan. Oh boy Alberto 1st, Miss Madison 2nd, Miss DOC Ray-Ban 3rd, Paddock Pools and Sundeck Dick not finished. Let's go down to the pit area.
Well, George, a good run out there. Didn't have an awful lot of competition going for you off there, but that can be an advantage for preparing for later.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice, easy heat. It's one of the best ones we've ever drawn. Drove all pistons this heat, so it was kind of nice to run against people of our own caliber, more or less. Turbines are a little tough to race with, so it was kind of fun.
Jim Hendrick and Dick Crippen from the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race. And when we return, we'll look at an exciting new team. Back here on the Detroit River, 3 turbines will go head-to-head in Heat 2B. Earlier, Dick Crippen had a chance to take a close look at the Circus team. Dick?
Well, certainly one team that attracts a lot of attention when it comes to town is Circus. You just can't miss the pink. And the man who's responsible for the overall operation of the team is Mel Larson. And Mel, this team is outstanding, and it's a new team this year already with some good plaudits to its success.
Well, they're very high, and they have been all along, and you say this is the first year for it, but they've been together now night and day for 6 months, you know, working all winter. So it isn't like they show up the first race and they start working together. They've had to work together and under a lot of pressure, completely rebuilding 2 boats and the entire team. So, you know, it's like they've been together for 10 years because they've got almost 10 years worth of hours together.
Chip, let's talk about the team. This is a good experience.
I believe that this team is really going to be the place to be in the next 3 years. I think there's more potential here than any team I've ever been involved with.
For you to walk right into this as the crew chief on this team, you've had to have a lot of good support, and I know the team has certainly given you that.
Yeah, we have support from Mr. Bennett at Circus, from Mel Larson. Chip's been supportive. The whole team as a whole has grown together to do what we planned to do at the beginning of the year, and that is build a team.
Now let's take a check on the combatants for Heat 2B. This Budweiser, Jim Kropfeld, looking for a victory in this heat. Pierre Levine, the Frenchman, driving Miss Detroit, the automotive barn boat. Larry Lauterbach, looking for a 2nd consecutive heat victory here today in the Winston Eagle. And Chip Hanauer, also a winner earlier in heat action, will drive the Circus.
Jim, this is going to be a battle royal, sort of a finale early in the day. These boats know that they've still got a big head-to-head match coming up later today. Winston Eagle out in lane number 3. Lane number 1 is the Miss Budweiser. Lane 2, Circus. Boy, what a heads-up start that was. Circus getting a little bit light in the center of your screen as they come down to turn number 1. It is Budweiser on the inside with the lead. Budweiser coming strong into the turn right now. Circus Circus is even up with the Winston Eagle. Winston Eagle is closest to you as they come through the turn.
Whoa, they are streaming through corners number 1 and 2 down the back chute here on the Detroit River. All 3 turbines missed Detroit. The automotive powered boat did not start, and we look at the leader getting very light. I don't know if he realizes he was that light coming down toward corner number 1. It's Miss Budweiser, Jim Cropfield, leading the way, the short way around the course. He gets into the tight corners number 3 and 4, down by the rooster tail, and look at him fly.
We are seeing an exact reverse of what happened earlier today when the Circus Circus was leading. The push boat now is Circus Circus. Out in front is the Miss Budweiser. Circus Circus at a competitive lap speed at 145 miles an hour. Look at this, 144.346 for the Miss Budweiser. Jim Cropfield is really pouring on the coals.
That is close to the record that was set just a heat ago, and they're not letting up. They're not letting up. Look at them fly as they come down by the Detroit Boat Club and head toward the Detroit Yacht Club on the eastern end of the course. Still, it's the Budweiser, but you can see the spray. Here's your 3rd place boat, the Winston Eagle, with Larry Lauterbach coming down the back chute. They're all in the same straightaway.
Lots of action, and this is exactly where the trouble starts as they come down that back chute and hit by the Detroit Yacht Club. Things start getting real loose on those boats. As you can see, the Winston Eagle holding it well as she goes into the turn now. Larry Lauterbach grabs into the turn with that skid fin, throws that second rooster tail high in the air. Look at the hop as he comes out of the turn, sliding the boat around. Meanwhile, on the other end of the course, you can see Miss Budweiser through the turn, still on her tail, is Circus Circus. Chip Hanauer is not letting up a bit. He's held it in there at less than 2 boat lengths all the way around.
A record 145.843 on the Xena Data Systems computer. That bested the record set just about an hour ago by this boat, the Circus Circus Chip Hanauer.
Well, as weather conditions continue to be near perfect here in Detroit, a little bit of gusty wind comes up on the backstretch, and that lifts the Circus Circus high out of the water. I don't think that they're going to be able to beat that record just set by the Miss Budweiser in this heat anyway. Still 3 turbine boats going, very strong. 3rd place, just off the pace, is the Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach. Here's the Miss Budweiser. This is your leader. Jimmy Cropfield took it right off the gun and has not let 1st place go. He is held in there, and he is held off the challenge of Circus Circus. There's the checkered flag coming out now. What a run for the Miss Budweiser. Jim Cropfield has got to be feeling good about the way that boat is run. I don't think Chip Hanauer is disappointed at all in the performance of the Circus Circus either. He's going to take a 2nd place here on the Detroit River.
And Dick, Bernie Little has to be happy his boat is set. 2 records, a 2.5-mile competition lap record, 145.8, on 12.5-mile heat record on a 2.5-mile course with an average speed of 142.7. Scoreboard shows Miss Budweiser 1st, Circus Circus 2nd, Winston Eagle 3rd, Miss Detroit did not start. Let's go to the pits.
Well, how does that feel, record and all?
Too fast.
That boat held beautifully out there, though, Jim.
Well, we got it nailed down pretty good. I want to play it safe. I don't want to do like poor Scott did in the other heat there. And I have to drive it real hard because we're making it very safe. And that's the way we want to run it. You know, the Detroit River's got a lot of problems out there that I know exactly where they are. So we just play it by ear and just run it. That's about all we can do.
Bernie, I know you were out here watching when Scott went, and you knew exactly what was going on with that boat. And I know you were watching your boat for the same thing.
Oh, yes, I was. But he had it really under control. That's the best ride that he's had here on the river in the boat. And Miss Budweiser's doing his thing, and so is Jim, and we'll be in there giving him one hell of a race.
The final field is set for the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race on the HFC American Hydroplane Series. We'll have those finals next.
We're back in Detroit now, getting ready for the final heat. This is some damage to the Winston Eagle. Larry Lauterbach apparently catching a little part of a rooster tail. And Jim, we talked so many times about the power of the rooster tail being equivalent to some 7 tons of water, and it literally ripped up part of the decking on the front of the boat.
Yeah, it's really a weapon. That's why they have that 3-boat overlap rule. You can see right here in slow motion, he'll take a dive right there, and the rooster tail off of the lead boat just literally hits you like a fire hose.
Well, they have taped it up and they have put a little bit of fiberglass coating on it, and they'll hope to hold it together for this, the final heat. I'll tell you what, it is really taped up all the way around, too. We didn't realize how much damage had been done to it. Here's the starting lineup. U31 Circus Chip Hanauer. He's the defending champ on this particular course. Miss Budweiser, the U1 Jim Cropfeld, would like to end that string. The Oh Boy Oberto, U2 George Woods Jr., certainly one to contend with in the piston-powered group. Back to the turbines, the Winston Eagle U10, Larry Lauterbach. Another piston boat is the Wholesome Miss Madison, the U6, Mike Hansen. The alternate boat, Cooper's Express, known today as the Miss DOC Ray-Ban, Mitch Evans, the driver.
And here they come down by the Rooster Tail to make that run along the Detroit River shoreline. It'll be the Winston Eagle in lane number 1, Circus lane 2, Budweiser in lane 3, Wholesome Miss Madison in lane 4, and on the outside, Oh Boy Oberto.
It is a good start for these boats as they come down, lined up perfectly. The white flag is pulled in, and we are off. This is the start of the final heat here in Detroit. Perfect conditions weather-wise. And as we come down into the first corner of turn number 1, it is going to be the Budweiser. Jim Cropfeld in the Budweiser has taken the lead. Circus is trying to close. Also the Winston Eagle right up in there. Budweiser is leaving them in the wake as he goes down by the boat club turn. Budweiser in the lead. Jimmy Cropfeld, look at that boat, gets light. He's going up and over. Jim Cropfeld has crashed by the Detroit Boat Club. He is underwater at this time. The boat is upside down. Jimmy Cropfeld losing it as he goes into the second corner of turn number 1.
Now here's where those airtight cockpits come to bear. He is upside down. He has the breathing apparatus. There comes the rescue crew. They'll go underneath the water, tap on the canopy, let him know they're there. Then you'll see them mount the boat from the bottom. They'll open up a special hatch and have to pull that driver out. He was leaving everybody like a scalded ape. Bernie Little, much concerned. He's been there before. His team talking it over. But he had a big lead and did not let up between corners 1 and 2. They're pulling him out of the boat now, Dick.
There he is, Jimmy Cropfeld. You can see him with the helmet on, and as we look at him out there being rescued, let's take another look at how the accident happened. He got airborne. He literally lost it as they came down around that turn. He goes in and hits down on his left sponson, which slowed the boat a little bit, but the boat continued to go over. Now, here's another angle on it.
Yeah, Dick, now watch. Now, he hits a bounce right there. He has not taken his foot out of it. He's starting to fly. Look at the skid fin hanging down. He's losing control. Once the prop and the rudder come off and out of the water, he's helpless. He flies it, does a 180 with a twist. It is on the left side, smashes in stern first, flops over upside down. Report we're getting from the URC medical team on the course. He's okay. He's talking. They're examining him. Let's go down to the pit area. Dick has Bernie Little on hand. Dick?
Well, Bernie, this one you weren't planning for.
Well, no, Dick. Miss Budweiser went off in lane 3 and Circus in lane 2, and another boat was in lane 1. I couldn't even really see who it was, but boy, he smoked him down to that first turn and looked like he was 4 or 5 boat lengths out in front, and all of a sudden he wasn't there anymore. So I don't know what happened.
He literally did leave the other 2 boats behind as he went down into that turn, and as he came out, he just kind of caught it and it flew. That's basically it.
I saw a rerun on TV just now, and it just started climbing, and it just hung there. And but boy, he really went over. But I think R.J. Reynolds was on the inside, or the Winston Eagle, and I don't know what happened to him. He sure smoked him out.
Well, Bernie, how many times have you been down and saying to the big man, thanks for those capsules? I mean, you have seen that pay off time and time and time again.
Twice today, in fact. I must tell you, I just called August Bush and thanked him for the capsule, because he's the man that made it all possible. And I want to tell you that we're sure glad to have it, and if it wasn't without it, I don't know what we'd do. We'd be out of boat racing.
Jimmy's condition?
Excellent. Just left him, and he's coming back saying, can we run in the final heat, you know. But we're taking him to hospital to make sure his neck's okay, and you know, Jim's a tough one, and he'll be fine.
They'll have to clear the course for the second time today, and we'll have a restart of the finals in just a moment.
Dick Crippen along with Jim Hendrick, Detroit, Michigan. This is the restart of the final heat. The Miss Budweiser has been towed in dockside now. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. U31, lane 1, U10, Winston Eagle in lane 2. The U6 Holson Miss Madison in lane 3, and DOC Ray-Ban, the alternate, is now in the field, U3 in lane number 4, and there they go for the start.
As they come down to the Garwood starting line, on the inside is the Circus with Chip Manauer, but right off his hip in the center of the pack is the Winston Eagle as they come down to corner number 1, and they are again getting flighty, walking sponson to sponson.
I can bet that we'll see these boats back off as they go into that turn where the Budweiser went over just a few moments ago. There is Circus, and he's holding very firm on the water right now. This is Chip Hanauer, who has a win streak that is the envy of every driver here on this river. He has always had good fortune in Detroit. Right now, his boat is operating flawlessly, as is the Winston Eagle, now in second place. Larry Lauterbach driving that boat, and this has got to be the kind of race day that's a great morale booster to it. They have overcome some obstacles in the Winston Eagle. As you saw earlier, we had some damage to that boat that was done by one of the Rooster Tails. They got it repaired. The boat is up and running. This boat has had probably the best day on the circuit of all the boats. Circus in the lead, Winston Eagle second, and right now the Holson Miss Madison is riding in third.
137.447 miles an hour for lap number 1, and you know now that he has backed off. He'll only use what he has to do to win and maintain the lead. Here's our 4th place boat, the Miss DOC Ray-Ban, currently running behind the 3rd place Holson Miss Madison.
Circus still the lead boat and still holding control. Good job of driving. Look at how firm that boat is on the water as he comes out of the turns. Remember again, these boats actually slide across the top of the water. There's a disappointing story. George Woods Jr., he had a great day going for himself, but he has gone down in the final heat this afternoon. Still in second place with all the tape all over the nose of the hydroplane, Larry Lauterbach in the Winston Eagle.
Boy, going from a soft pink to a bright red, that's what the fans along the river are seeing today as our leader is down in the boat club turn down to the Belle Isle Bridge, and he'll come down the back chute, still leading by about 4 boat lengths over the second place Winston Eagle. Here's your 3rd place, Holson Miss Madison, with Mike Hansen at the wheel.
And the last lap by the lead boat, Circus, better than 131 miles per hour. He is down considerably to what he was in the first race out here today when he set a record. And then, of course, that record was broken later for the Miss Budweiser. But Chip Hanauer right now has got himself a checkered flag in his sights, and he is taking dead aim at it. He is riding just hard enough to hold it in. Another boat has gone down on the course, the U3 Miss DOC Ray-Ban. It's clearing out for Chip Hanauer. He's got good water all the way.
And if he can maintain the lead, he'll become the 3rd different winner in the first 3 races. Miss Budweiser winning at Houston, Texas, or Clear Lake, should I say. In Miami, it was Jeff Presents Mr. Pringles, and now the Circus could become the 3rd winner in as many races in the unlimited HFC American Hydroplane Series.
And the crowd is cheering. The checkered flag is out. Chip Hanauer, in fact, does do it. He becomes the 3rd winner on the circuit in as many races. Circus, Chip Hanauer, winner of the Detroit race.
Second place and a fine finish for the Winston Eagle team goes to Larry Lauterbach in the Rocket Red Winston Eagle.
And 3rd place will be coming across momentarily. There was a little bit of a gap there between 2nd and 3rd, but there is the Holson Miss Madison revving up and preparing for an appearance for the first time in the hometown of Madison, Indiana.
An exciting day, and here's the final order of finish here in Detroit, Michigan. Now let's go to the pits and Dick Crippen.
Well, Chip, I guess you could say Detroit been very, very, very good to you.
Yeah, it has. You have to really respect this place or it bites you bad, and we saw that today. But more than that, I'm just happy is what this team's doing. Dave Vilwalk is doing a stupefyingly great job, and the guys behind him are supporting him. And I tell you, in the next 2 or 3 years, if you're a boat racer, this is the team to be.
Well, you've been saying that all along, Dave. You've raced around a lot. You know this river. This has to be special for you.
This is a tough place to race, and Chip did a great job. The rest of the team, it's a real team concept that we've tried to build here, and everybody came through when everyone else was blinking, we were just striding ahead.
Mel, it had to be hardest on you standing on the sidelines after what's been happening here today.
Well, that's right. In fact, I didn't watch the last lap. I told him to tell me how it was coming out. I felt it was going to be there, but I didn't want to be disappointed. But we got a great thing. We got Chip, the greatest driver. We got Dave Vilwalk, who's proved that he's the greatest crew chief. We got the greatest boat, the greatest team, and HFC sponsoring a thing like this. How can we go wrong? But also, we got our chairman of the board, William G. Bennett, who lets us go do these things and do it right.
Here's the HFC high point standings through the first 3 races of the year. Circus Circus leads the pack over Miss Budweiser, Oh Boy Alberto, Miss Madison. An exciting day of racing here on the Detroit River. The tough course, as we said at the beginning of this program, the toughest they would have to negotiate. Wind, water, and boy, I'll tell you, with the accidents we saw today, just thank God nobody was hurt.
Jim, we used the word survival when we talked about this at the beginning of the show, and survival was exactly what it was about. I'm happy to report both drivers, Jimmy Cropfeld, Scott Pierce, are okay. They're going to get back into racing. Their boats will be back on the circuit at the next stop. It just goes to prove the safety capsule was the way to go. This is the first year that all drivers have been required to have those capsules, and already it's paying off.
No doubt about it. And of course, Winston Eagle showed a big improvement over the first 2 races. Circus Circus, you bet. They have been fast all week. They deserve the win. Now take it, 3 different winners in the first 3 races. Budweiser in Houston, Pringles in Miami, and in Detroit, of course, Circus Circus.
That's right, and I have to tell you that Chip, of course, was very, very elated on the dock, and that's what he was thinking about, the improving of the boat. He said it's a new crew. It's a crew that he wants to work with. He thinks it's the crew of the future. Well, that's yet to be told, and we'll tell that story in the upcoming weeks.
Lots of excitement here on the Detroit River. On behalf of Dick Crippen, I'm Jim Hendrick. So long.
The HFC American Hydroplane Series is sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Household Finance Corporation, America's financial resource. This has been a production of IPI Sports.